In my last video, I painted this cheerful spring bouquet. So this time I'm painting a more muted one. I knew I wanted to do a vase with a bouquet in muted tones. And so that is what I started out with here. Kind of a mauve, like a pinky brown color. And then I go back and add some more to it later. This is funny because I was like, oh, like dusty pink, that'll look so pretty with dusty blue. And then I was like, I don't want dusty blue flowers. What in the world? So I kind of mopped it up. Oh, I did end up making it more of a gray vase. And that kind of translated into the flowers. Like the dusty blue turned into a dusty purple, brown. I don't even know what color that is. And some dusty green leaves. I still had the paint wet, so it was kind of blurring and mixing together at the vase part where I was trying to add some leaves at the bottom and everything. But I was okay with that. This, I didn't have a particular purpose other than making this video. So there's kind of this brown, yellow, cream color along with the peachy pinks and almost so some that are so pale you can barely see them. And I just kind of add a little dot to the middle and some leaves surrounding it so that it stands out a little more. And I loved this bouquet, but then I felt like it was small for that vase. I thought it was so big. Oh yeah, and then I went back and changed some of them to be more of a maroon color. I don't know why I can't think of what color I'm trying to say, but also just adding little sprigs here and there of varying colors and expanding it even more. I actually came back in later and added more little sprigs and a little bit of shading here. I kind of like, I don't hate it with the smaller size bouquet, but it didn't seem to fit right. It almost seemed like it was mirroring the size of the bottom of the vase, and I just wanted it to be a little bigger. So that's why I added more later. I actually added a few more sprigs later off camera. I used this paper that I've talked about before and how much I love this paper, and it did do really well for these, particularly with basically wet on dry. But for the bouquets, and let me show you what the paper is, Artisto. It's okay for practice, but I feel like I am practicing potentially bad habits because I'm not using the best paper. It does have a lot of nice things about it, though, that it's inexpensive and everything like that. So I do have a lot of just quick sketches that I don't, particularly love, just testing some things out. But especially since I do a lot of wet on dry, it's fine. But these, you can see that it pulls up and it's like the pigment, maybe it's also the paint that I'm using, which is not professional paint, but it is Winsor & Newton. So anyway, kind of gathers in the ridges. This is what I painted last time, and I do still like it, especially when it dries. But I wanted to mention that I'm not in love with that paper as much as I thought I was, and I kind of just want to even practice on higher quality paper. Ugh, it's so tough. But these tiny sketch pads that I have seem to do a good job. And I mean, maybe I don't do a lot of wet on wet for these either, and maybe that's why. But they also aren't necessarily perfect. But I feel like I'd rather, if I was just going to practice something, do it on that, which is smaller, square. But these do have the perforation, and the spiral, so you can have keep it open. So different things to think about when buying paper. I don't know. I don't think I regret this. I just don't know that I would buy it again. So I will be sharing numerous tutorials using it though. But don't forget, if you didn't see my previous video about the spring bouquet and you liked this video, that one is similar and I hope you enjoy it as well. Happy painting!